Welcome to The Explainer. Today we're diving into a source from over 100 years ago to unlock some incredible secrets about a fear that so many of us share: public speaking.
You know that feeling, right? Your heart starts pounding, maybe your knees get a little shaky. That sheer terror of getting up in front of a crowd. It feels so modern, so personal. But what if I told you the key to beating it was laid out way back in 1915?
I mean, talk about direct advice. This comes from a classic called The Art of Public Speaking, and it's our guide for today. The authors had this powerful idea that courage isn't about not feeling fear, it's about mastering it.
So how in the world do you just make your knees stop quaking? Well, the first secret isn't some trick or technique. Nope, it's a massive mental shift. It's all about changing your inner game before you even think about opening your mouth.
The way the authors saw it, there's this invisible energy field between you and the audience, a positive and a negative force. And you, the speaker, have to make a conscious decision to be the positive force. You have to decide to lead the room, not let your fear lead you.
And listen, this is not about faking it till you make it. It's about tapping into a power of self-control they believed is already inside of you. You just have to make the choice to grab the steering wheel.
Okay, so once you've got that mindset locked in, the book gives you this amazing toolkit to make your speech come alive. And think of these less as rigid rules and more like, instruments you can play to create something dynamic and engaging.
First up is tempo. The authors literally call a varied pace a tremendously important element for power. And it makes so much sense, right? A speech that's all one speed is boring. But changing your pace, speeding up for excitement, slowing down for gravity, that's what makes it feel natural and powerful.
And this slide just shows you exactly what they mean. Go ahead, try saying these out loud. The first one is slow, thoughtful. The second is this quick little burst of memory. That's tempo in action. And that's what makes this speech feel human, not robotic.
The next tool in the kit is the pause. Because, as the book points out, sometimes the most powerful thing you can do on stage is saying nothing at all. A little bit of silence, a well-placed beat, it makes the audience lean in. It makes them want to know what's coming next.
I love this piece of advice they highlight from the novelist Wilkie Collins. We just appreciate things more when we have to wait for them. A pause isn't empty space. It's a gift you give the audience to let your ideas sink in and to build anticipation.
And our final tool is inflection. This really gets to the heart of it's not what you say, it's how you say it. Inflection is the music in your voice. It's what turns a simple pile of word bricks into a magnificent cathedral of meaning.
This is such a brilliant example. Same two words, but say it with your voice rising at the end, and it's a scornful question. Say it with your voice falling, and it's a shocked outcry. That right there is the incredible power of inflection. But here's the thing. All these tools, the tempo, the pause, the inflection, they're just the car. They're useless without an engine. And the book argues that the engine has to be your own inner force.
And this is so important. Force isn't about shouting. Yelling at people doesn't make your idea more powerful, it just makes it annoying. Real force, the kind that actually moves an audience, is this quiet intensity, this genuine earnestness that just radiates out from you.
It really all boils down to this. Before you can even dream of convincing an audience of something, you have to be 100% convinced yourself. That belief, that conviction, it's the most persuasive thing you have.
Now hold on. Dynamite sounds pretty intense, right? But this isn't about contradicting that earlier point about not yelling. The dynamite they're talking about is using focused, bold, intense delivery when it counts to break through apathy and really get a point across. It's about being impactful, not just loud.
And that idea of inner force leads us directly to what the authors say is the most important principle of all. This is the one thing that separates a pretty good speaker from an absolutely unforgettable one.
So the book tells this incredible story. There was this big event, and a bunch of slick, polished speakers got up and nothing. The audience was bored. Then this humble clerk gets up. He doesn't have any fancy techniques, but he spoke from the heart about something he was deeply passionate about, and he completely electrified the room.
And to really nail this point, they bring in the philosopher Thomas Carlyle. They argue that deep, genuine sincerity is the absolute soul of eloquence.
All the tools and techniques in the world mean nothing without it. Your authentic self is your greatest asset. All right, so we've got all these amazing secrets. Mastering your fear, using your tools, finding your force, and tapping into sincerity. But how do you actually do it? How do you put it all together?
Well, they break it down into this really clear 3-step path. First, you have to prepare. Really know your stuff inside and out. Second, you practice these delivery principles until you don't even have to think about them. And third, and this is the big one, you have to actually go out and speak.
And ultimately, this is the bottom line. There's just no substitute for doing the thing. You can't learn to swim from a book. You've got to get in the water. And you can't truly become a confident speaker without, well, speaking. Confidence is built in the arena.
And really, that's the biggest lesson from this incredible 1915 guide. All of these tools, all of these techniques, they aren't about building some fake persona. They're about helping you unlock the powerful, important things that you already feel and believe.
So that's the final challenge it leaves us with. It suggests that the path to becoming a great speaker isn't about becoming someone else. It's about finding the courage to let your own voice and your own story be heard.